I wanted to ask you about Tookie Williams. He's a very, very legendary figure in our culture and in our throughout the communities in America. You knew him personally. You know him since back in the day. Uh, what type of person was he? Do you feel like he's accurately portrayed?
Well, I never read nothing that how they say they portray him. I ain't never read his books or none of that. Watched no movies or Menace to Society. I don't. It's because I lived it. But what I can say about Tookie, he wasn't a killer. I never seen him with a gun. But when he got shot in Compton back in about 75 somewhere and almost got paralyzed, then he went and bought a shotgun. So that tell you he didn't have no record too much then. And Tookie was more of the Clark Gable, the face of the Crips, because in 72 somewhere Raymond Washington had went to prison. They let Tookie, in fact, Tookie was working and running boys' homes in Compton, the Red House. The other one was right behind Centennial. That's where that shooting happened at. So Tookie was a flamboyant. He was a guy where you can say, like nowadays, he had swag. In fact, all of us had swag. We had a style to what we were with our cripping, and a difference with nowadays. We were united. When one of us left, we leave together, we come back together. So the image of Tookie being a killer and doing this and telling people what to do, that wasn't a get down. It wasn't no I'm up under this line, Tookie this. We all knew our positions. We embraced Tookie them because they couldn't get away with doing what we were doing. 2 years, 3 years for a murder, carjacking is a GTA, and all these terms were created later. So the crimes we were committing then, they're getting punished for now. Carjacking wasn't even called carjacking. We get caught with a gun, they give it back to you. No gang enhancement. We could walk in packs, groups. So over the years, then they created the juvenile fitness here to where they start trying to use as juveniles when they realize it ain't the older ones, it's the younger ones that's doing it. And that's how we had this national law called the juvenile fitness here because of the behavior of brown and black youths. Read it. It's in the Supreme Court. So a lot of times these guys don't know their history and think they're in the wheel when the wheel been spent. But at the end of the day, I've seen Tookie. They were in the fight, and it wasn't no big crowd. You might see Tookie, and it's three, four, five of them at the most, because the West Side Crips hadn't expanded. And then when the youth joined in '71, we were the West Side Crips. This before sets, colors, any of that had ever been invented. We was wearing canes, walking with canes, wearing beanies, Pendletons, biscuits, gloves, and at the end of the day, Tookie wasn't that bad a guy. Uh, Drugs played a role in his demise. When he got arrested in 1979, I just had seen him no more than maybe 1 or 2 days before he got arrested. And I told him, man, because we never had heard of snitching. And I told him, man, I think this dude you with is telling. And he said, jump the fence, cuz. And I said, I'm not coming over there, man. I think this dude telling. And sure enough, he was an informant. And that's how Cookie ended up getting took down after he left the house. They sat right there and they arrested him right after that. Mm-hmm. So go ahead. So go ahead. Next
Okay,
question.
okay. Thank you for sharing that. Now, you spoke earlier a lot about unity. The Crips was unified, but I guess at some point it got fragmented, and I guess the gangs was going in different directions. Could you speak about that a little bit? Why did that happen, and what effect did that have on the community?
Well, from 71 to 72, the end of 72, we were West Side Crips. Then Monk, that ran with Tookie in the hundreds, he started the United Underground, the N Block. I started Gangster. O'Neal started 111. And they started breaking into group sets because Tookie's not relevant on the West Side. He's relevant, but he's in Compton working and running the boys home. He had about two or three of them out there. So the other ones that ran with Tookie, they still on the west side, and they went into forming the sets that we have now in extension. So they start having little intermediate problems, but there was no, oh, he killed my homeboy in the whole set. Nah, it was personal. Didn't nobody jump on sides, whatever happened, that's how it went. Then starting toward 79, most of those that had been the core and had been going to YA, running in and out, uh, when we start going to jail as adult, we start staying in there longer. So the leadership and the foundation left. Tookie got arrested. Raymond Washington got killed in August, and I was with him like 1 or 2 days before he got slain. So I was with Tookie right before he got arrested. Then Raymond Washington running with us when he got out. And so Big Rick brother from the Rolling 60s uh, was slain, and they thought A-Tray did it, which come to find out it wasn't. And then they started breaking up, and they didn't know each other. It's easy to kill a stranger. So by now, nobody don't know each other, and that's where we stand today, to where it has become fashionable, a cultural phenomenon, uh, and stuff of this nature. So in our era, we were united, all as one. We'd go to the east side, the Watch Festival, the Watch Stacks, Compton, Booty, or the Grand. We floating all around in unity. And back then, you couldn't tell who was who. Who was a blood? They didn't even have that term. There was no colors. So you hear the term, where you from? You had to walk up to them. Everybody dressing the same. We wearing cross earrings and things. And we're going to step to you because we coming to you. They didn't come on our side of town. So as far as the Crips being uh, created to protect the community, that's true, but it wasn't like it was any type of structure to what we was doing. It was more, you can't come over here, Negro, or anybody come over here. And that's how it was as far as protecting the me. But as far as us even thinking about helping the community, when we was 14, 15, 16, we hadn't even had sex with our socks off yet, let alone to be thinking about helping the community. We was just rebels without a cause. That's all I can say. Rebels without a cause. But now we have a purpose. We're going to get back to where we see the mistakes that we made. There's nobody in this town pretty much that I don't know who their parents is. They might be their grandmama now, grandfather, sister, brother, auntie, uncle. I'm going to know them pretty much because I've been up in this little area since I've been born. So it's hard not to know anybody that gets hurt up in